Hi, I'm Sam from Wolf and Wing, and welcome to a really special magic chat today with the amazing Aakriti Kundu. We are going to be talking all things goddesses today, and I am super excited. But first things first, Aakriti, would you like a cup of tea?
Yes, please. Could you pour me one? That would be
This
great.
is my magic cherry blossom tea. It has the ability to travel across space and time to land with you as a perfect cup of tea at your end.
Thank you.
So whereabouts in the world are you, Aakriti, and what time is it?
That's lovely. That's just brewed to perfection. I'm I'm in India. It is 6 p.m. Not too bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm used to like waking up for middle of the night chats. Like this is actually it's unprecedented. It's
Awesome. So can you introduce yourself a little bit and a little bit about your work?
yes. Yes. How do I want to introduce myself today? Okay, so my name is Aakriti Kundu, as Sam mentioned. I call myself many different things, but mostly what the work that I do goes by the names of priestess, oracle, and channel. So I channel the goddesses. I work with the goddesses. Three of the things that come up a lot in the work that I do are human design, chakras, and the goddess. And all of this stuff has come over many years of studying and practice, which we will get into. But I love all things magical, metaphysical, manifestational. It's like all the juicy vibes. Yes. Is that good enough? You'll
Yeah,
hear more about me in a while, don't
that's
worry.
perfect summary.
Well,
And how long has because the goddess piece, I've kind of watched the goddess piece come clicking into place a bit more recently. How long have you been working with goddesses for?
so just to give you a background, I got into the self-development space and personal development and manifestation 10 maybe 11 years ago. And I'm the kind of person who I feel like I have a bit of an addictive personality, but I've never gotten addicted to any of the bad stuff. Like I tried alcohol and it was very tiring. It was very tiring to be hungover. So I just chose to be addicted to this kind of stuff. So like when I started with personal development and self healing, for example, I I went a little insane with it. I went a little crazy with it. So I was on this like boot camp healing journey for pretty much now it feels like it's been going on for the last 10 years. But the goddess piece clicked in. So I got my initiation directly from the goddesses, which is not something that happens a lot, especially not when it happened to me. This was in 2018, I want to say. And then I didn't take it seriously. I was just like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. Why? And I refused. I literally refused. It felt like such a big responsibility because I felt like I was being burdened with all of this ancient knowledge. At the same, like while while at the same time I was asking, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And
Not that.
so when I was given this purpose and I had like this weird push and pull, which I kind of think happens a lot on our journeys when we really we can spend so much of our lives looking for the thing. And this happens even with relationships, with friends, with soul contracts, whatever you want to call it. That when it presents itself to you, you're like, yeah, no. I I know I've been desperately asking for like guidance and signs and blah blah, and now this thing is like right in front of me. Yeah, I don't think so. So it took me a year and a half, really, till the middle of 2020 to kind of get ready for it, because that's when the goddess had had enough of my shit, and she was just like, you know what, enough of this. And she ripped me a new life in a way. At that time I was I was running podcasting. I was doing podcasting for other people. I was doing a lot of, service for other entrepreneurs. And she just like ripped me a new one. And she was like, nope, I'm going to get rid of everything that you think is yours. And you have to do this work. So the last year has been a boot camp in the goddess, which has been more fun than I'm making it sound.
I love that so much. I remember you were posting on Facebook about going for a walk with your beautiful dog Diana, and suddenly like just getting a big download of stuff from goddesses. And is it like multiple goddesses at once? Do you have one particular one that comes through? How does it kind of work?
Yeah. So with I'm blessed to be of a lineage where we actively worship goddesses still. So there are definitely parts of India where the gods, the male deities, are more like powerful or whatever, and they're more important. And then there are certain pockets in India where the goddess is still given higher pedestal, almost like she's more important, like all these other guys are just like a little step below. So while I was growing up, I watched four goddesses of importance, and I kind of feel like they have been with me all my life, even though I didn't I was going to say I may not have. No, I definitely did not give them as much importance as I do now. Let's just put it that way. And so when that particular post happened, like I said, in 2018, all four of them came to me simultaneously,
Wow.
which again doesn't happen often. Or I've definitely not heard of it happening yet, but I'm still very new in this space. But yeah, all four of them came to me directly, even though, there was Kali, who is very well known, who is like the thunderbolt of spiritual transformation. She was the voice of them all. And she's the one who continued to like hold me by the hand quite literally and drag me through whatever steps I needed to get through, especially when I was resisting. She's like, over here, do it now. And since then, since that post was even before 2020, I think. I don't remember now. Everything is a blur. But since then, I've had, so I now work with eight Indian goddesses and four Egyptian goddesses who have come through. So they are my personal, yeah, it's a lot. A lot. But for anyone watching, it doesn't have to be that many. Like a lot of my clients who I've done, initiation sessions for, you might have one main like goddess figure or deity figure, and then you will have smaller, not smaller, but when I visualize it, I see like the goddess as this one huge being of light, and then around her like angels, ascended masters, archangels, other beings of light that are there to help you out. They just decided that they wanted to all come and chill in my brain, which is fine. I'm fine with that. They're some of the best friends I've got. So
beautiful. I love it so much. And one of the things I'm curious about is, do they like, when they show up for you, do you instantly know who they are? Do they claim I'm so and so, or do you kind of recognize parts of them?
Oh, what a good question. What a good question. So sometimes just by, say, for example, it's less and less likely now that they barge in on me. So now it's more of like me saying, okay, I'm having trouble with this particular issue. Help me. And whoever is ready to, or whoever's most appropriate for that issue. So say, for example, I'm feeling very lonely, I would like some love, please. Then it's more likely that a love goddess will come through. And having worked with them for a while now, I kind of can sense the energy of which goddess it is. So I can kind of recognize them, because it's like when a friend calls you up from an unknown number and you hear their voice and you're like, oh, it's you.
Yeah,
sure. It's just a question of do you actually pick up a call when it's from an unknown number, right? That's a choice that you can make. But yeah, in the beginning, it was when I was getting to know them, they would say like, this is, or I could always ask like, which one are you? And they'd be like, they're just me. What are you talking about? And then they would use either their own name, or they would start talking, and then I could sense their energetic signature, and I was, okay, this feels like you.
Yeah.
So very interestingly, I've been working on my chakras in the last couple of months. And did you know that the original texts of Tantra actually say that your chakras are like obviously they're not things that you can see, but they were meant to be like a pilgrimage within your body. So these are actually sacred sites where the goddesses sit, right?
Oof. Oh, I felt that. Whoa. Whoa, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the next like deepening of this work, that is like tantalizing me and telling me like, over here, honey, over here. and I've been when I was 10 years old, my mom introduced me to a particular lineage of meditation where the guru actually spoke about this. So I've been thinking of it in this way for a very long time. Like, yeah, of course, when they say God is within you, like literally within your energetic centers, right? Right? Feeling it? You're feeling it? This is, by the way, anyone who's watching live or on the replay, these are all energetic transmissions. Just let them like wash over you. Shit is getting shifted for you. It's fine. And I might have like, do you have other guests that burp when they have energetic movement? That might happen.
Yeah, I yawn. Yawning's my one. That's how I clear it. I'd forgotten about the burping.
Yeah,
burp. Like,
it's so ladylike, you guys.
and it's just like
it's so proper.
it's things need to move, don't they? And so your body finds a way to shift it.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, the point I was trying to make is I was looking for which goddess is in which chakra, and this was literally how I would roam around, and I'd be like, okay, so who's in this particular space? And sometimes there's like me, 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 me. And sometimes it's just like silence, and I'm like, does anyone want this seat? Like, who wants to come chill out here? And yeah, so having that relationship with them has really helped me be able to identify who's speaking at any point of time. But in the beginning, I just asked. I was like, excuse me, who is this, please? Yes? Okay, cool. Now we can talk.
It's just, it's so magical. I'm just so in awe. Has it been scary? Was it like strange and scary at first?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because the moment that I spoke of earlier, where the goddess literally like pushed me over the edge, and she was like, "You have been pretending to how do I put it? I was afraid of the consequences of this bigger mission." And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. So I'm just not going to touch that. I'm going to let it be. Let's see what happens, I think was my state of mind. And at the point where the goddess really just got pissed off with me, and she was like, you want to see what happens? I'll show you what happens. Just kind of like tore everything away. That part was really scary. And that, I think a lot of people can identify with that, because that's what a dark night of the soul feels like. It's like everything is falling away. You're in that tower moment where everything's kind of coming crashing around you, and you're like, so now what? Now what do I do? And it's a necessary moment in order to let go and surrender your sense of control. And I feel like that was the basis of my finally being able to trust these energies and say, okay, fine, do what you want. Apparently you will anyway, so I might as well like join you for the ride. No, if you can't resist, join them. What is the thing? I don't know.
Yeah. It can't beat them, join them. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Can't beat them, join them. Exactly.
And that's a really beautiful thing, actually, for this time of year, I'm just thinking about like the wheel of the year, particularly like here in the UK, as we're heading out of summer and into the time when stuff starts to fall away. Like this is the time when, I mean, you can have a long dark night of the soul at any point, can't you? But there is something about autumn and winter that you kind of get more of them. Yeah. I don't know how it works in India. Is that a similar thing?
Well, we don't have autumn or winter for that matter. I mean, I finally have some cold months, but yeah, you're right. Around Leo season is when this happened to me last year, and again, yeah. So and Leo season is always like just the beginning of autumn, end of summer situation, right? So maybe I definitely feel like the cycle of seasons and the cycles of the moon, all of that affects me definitely, and other people also, from what I've seen, to a great deal. Um, but I never made that connection because for a long time I just thought I was in a dark night of the soul that lasted 5 years. But just in case anyone who's watching, you feel like you've been in this endless dark night of the soul, it's you're not weird, you're not abnormal. It happens because sometimes, I'm a prime example of that. If you refuse to if I refuse to learn a particular lesson, then I'm just like not allowed to come out of that lesson. Then I have to just kind of stay submerged in it till it gets to the point where I'm like, screw everything, I'm done. I I obviously cannot find a way out, so I'm just going to surrender. And then, the energies around me are like, finally, welcome. Now here's a towel, like wipe yourself off. Let's go. Next step. Yeah.
Oh, I really resonate. Yeah, that's a really beautiful way of putting it. Yeah, we say night, but it's not necessarily just a night. I mean, there might be one particular night.
It's like the Game of Thrones winter. It can last 20 years. You don't know. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, isn't it? That, yeah, exactly what you're saying. I've definitely felt that thing around, oh, this lesson's coming around again. Oh, this thing that I thought, oh, okay, oh, right, okay, it's happening again. I better actually listen this time. And sometimes I think as well, like there's a particular piece that needs to fall into place almost for the lesson to really land. And sometimes that takes time, and it might be like a physical, almost like a physical body thing. Your body needs to be able to hold some of it, or your nervous system, or a certain person has to turn up on the scene. And it's sometimes like that like just like holding on energy, isn't it? Just like just it's coming, and you just don't know when, but just don't give up.
I hate the I hate the concept of don't give up, because I hate the concept of like consistency and don't give up, because to me, like don't lose hope might be a better way of going about it, because in not giving up, I ended up like resisting for way longer than I needed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, so you might need to give up.
Yeah, just give up the I think if you give up the how, like how it will come, how it will happen, how it's going to work out, the in between steps, and it's much easier said than done. I, for one, spend many months worrying about tiny little things. Like I'm not going to pretend like I'm perfect, I'm fine, it's okay. I never worry. Bullshit. I worry all the time. I worry so much I can't sleep. It's fun. But don't try it at home. But when we've been, the thing is, like, these are very masculine energy ideas that we've been fed, and unfortunately there are a lot of women who no longer remember what being connected to their feminine feels like, because we've just been like, I have this image of like a t-shirt kind of just being washed over and over and over again till it, finally loses its like brightness and kind of becomes like this dull, soft, ready to tear, just overused piece of cloth. I don't know why that thing came through, but I guess somebody needed to hear that. but that's how I feel like that's how we've been washed in this masculine way of thinking, way of doing things, which is don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. And me, I mentioned human design earlier, right? So in this last year's process, I've dove dive in no I dived deeper into human design. What is the goddamn word? Anyway, I found out more about human design. I learned more about human design, and I realized that my design, or the way that I'm designed, is actually so feminine that the moment I try to hold on to and embody a masculine principle, I am this close to burnout just by trying to like embody a masculine principle. That's just my design, and which is like, didn't you say you used to be a hyper masculine, super perfectionist, get everything done down to the wire, pressure driven person? Yeah, that's why I had like white hair, like not white hair, but like I had 3 white hair at the age of 18, because I was trying to push myself and conform to these masculine ideas of, don't give up, work hard,
push
you
it and it'll come, kind of thing.
yeah, keep going, like don't give up, don't, oh, I hate this one, don't stop when you're tired, stop when it's done. Fuck that. Take a fucking nap, go to hell. Anyone, I hate it so much, I hate it so much. Can you tell? I hate it. Don't stop when you're tired. Fuck you. Don't tell me how to live my life. Sorry, I just get so angry.
I love that so much, because that feels like what you're saying, like, and I hear that it's like the human design thing that is like part of your journey, but it feels like everyone's journey, that we're all so fucking tired, and we've all like there are so many aspects to the way the systems of our world work that are built on those kind of big pushy masculine principles, and everything's a bit, I don't like to think of the world as broken, but there are cracks happening because of that.
Yeah, and this is why I feel like the divine feminine right now, and whatever you consider to be the divine feminine, is allowed. It's all allowed. It's all part of the divine feminine, and like that's why she's so loud right now, and so many people are being awakened, are being initiated, are hearing her call, because it's not about being broken. It's just that things have skewed way too far onto the masculine side, where we are all masculine and feminine beings. We have a certain balance that is inherent to us, and our world is meant to thrive when it is in balance with its own masculine feminine principles and energies. And if you completely like remove the feminine aspect and you go so far into the masculine, yeah, your body is not meant to keep going and going and going. If we didn't need sleep, we would be very different beings, but we do. And that's because sleep is one of the surefire ways to drop into receptivity. Like there's nothing you can do. You can't force yourself to sleep. And when you're actually sleeping, you're useless. Like in the masculine world, you have less than zero value, right? You're just, but the feminine principle, like sleep is when you restore, when you regenerate. So in a way, you're creating the health that you need, the help that your physical body needs, all the digestive processes, these are all building. And that sort of creation is the feminine at work. So why would you fucking resist that? I used to hear people who were like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I'm like, no, you'll be dead. Like, that's not sleeping. What is wrong with you? This was when I was a child. So apparently I was smarter then. But we've all definitely been brainwashed, for sure. We've been taught that these systems are the only way to be successful. And each person who is waking up to her or his or her feminine identity or their feminine energies is starting to really raise a middle finger to that and say, no, I'm going to decide what success means to me, and I'm going to lean into the feminine rather than push and fight. Ugh.
That's so beautiful. Oh, I love that so much. That's because, and I love what you're saying as well. So I'm imagining that you tend to work with women, but not, goddess work is for everyone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially the moment that there were so many like realizations one on top of the other, but the moment we recognize that there's goddess energies that are handling various parts of your physical, mental, emotional bodies, then we realize how much people are just tired because they've been forcing themselves to do things that they don't need to do. And then also seeing out in the world how many people are recognizing that they are not just they don't just identify as male, or they don't just identify as straight, or whatever those molds that we'd been taught are your identity. Like, the more I see that, I'm like, oh shit, okay, I see you working out there in the world, and I see where like my place is, and I see the movement pretty much. Like, I see the so I don't know if you've done this, but have you ever done like a client attraction meditation?
Oh no, that's an amazing idea.
No, okay. So it's fun. So I did a soul family attraction meditation, and I've been doing it very often because I'm tired of being alone on this earth plane. Like, I would like some physical friends, please. Like, y'all are great, but send me some physical peeps as well. And in that meditation, like, you basically set your frequency, and then you allow everyone else who's on that frequency to just gravitate towards you. And it's a complete light being. It's beautiful. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love the shit out of it. It's going to be so much fun. In fact, I encourage everyone watching to try it. Just see whatever visuals come up for you is perfectly fine. And when I specifically like asked for everyone who's on my frequency to rise up and join me, dear God, Sam, the numbers of light beings and souls. Like, I was like, I don't have the capacity to handle that many people. And it was like, you don't. If it's a community, then it's not on you. You're not the king.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're a member of the community. Like, it's a sisterhood, and it's not just like you're not the ruler. So it was like, just let them fucking come. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, basically, in short, lots of people are recognizing, I need more of the divine feminine in my life. I need more of this goddess energy. So yeah, it's good. Much more naps. Many more naps in our future.
I'm all about the naps. I love that so much. And I just wanted to ask you, like, as we kind of head towards the end of our chat, I'm really intrigued to know, you mentioned that you have a special Friday night ritual.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I've been like like I said, I'm a bit of a junkie. So I've been trying to connect the goddess to as many parts of my life as I possibly can. And I started assigning like days of the week to certain goddesses, because, like, again, if I have 15 goddesses that I need to work with, like, I'm not going to be able to do an hour-long ritual with every single one every single day. I would lose my mind. Or I would just become like a pure being of light and no one would be able to see me. So yeah, it's like, I would much prefer somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And it turns out that even in old folklore, Fridays have been the day. Like, Friday is named after the goddess Freya. Back in ancient Greece or whatever, the Friday was dedicated to Venus. And then I find out later that Fridays have been the days, like Friday evenings especially, are when we worship Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is, for anyone who doesn't know, the Indian goddess of wealth, abundance, and some people don't know this, but also love, because love is extremely abundant. It's on the same frequency as abundance. So she's the goddess of abundance of all things, material, spiritual, whatever you what other planes are there? Good God, Akriti. Anyway, so on Friday nights, because I connect to Lakshmi, she's one of one of the four goddesses that came to me right in the beginning. Every Friday evening, I try. Sometimes I forget, and I've apologized to my goddesses a number of times for that. I'm like, I'm not consistent. Don't expect that of me. They're like, we know who you are, we know what you're all about. But on the Fridays that I do remember, I cleanse my house with incense sticks. Again, for those of you who, I saw this beautiful smudging technique for people who are, conscious about not wanting to appropriate, which had to do with like burning maybe flower petals or other things which could still give you the smoke that you need.
Yeah.
Exactly. Things that are like beautiful, and give off a nice smell, and that will actually like smoke and cleanse your house. So be careful, don't play with fire. But I cleanse it with incense sticks that I get, locally. I get ones that are like super smoky and the ones that are like really nice smelling. So I use the super smoky ones to cleanse every room of my house, every corner of my house. That takes like 10 to 15 minutes. I try not to skip around too much. And then I light like a really nice, beautiful smelling incense stick, as if to invite the good energies, right? So we use the smoke to kind of clean out the negativity and anything all the grime that has accumulated over the week. And then with the beautiful smells, and you could just use a diffuser in this particular case. If you wanted to, or even, for a while I was even like spraying myself with the perfume that I really liked, and so I would place the perfume on my altar with the goddess, and I would say, just bless this, and this will be. And then I use that perfume the rest of the week as well. And as I'm putting it on, I'm like, okay, I'm connecting with this particular goddess, which is just so simple and such an amazingly efficient way of getting to the frequency that you want. So we smudge and cleanse, and then we do invitation rituals. So this could be a meditation if you like. I like to do candle gazing because my brain is just so loud that sometimes I can't get there with closed eyes meditation, and I don't always vibe with guided meditation. So I do like candle gazing, especially because it's in the evening and it can help your mind to really focus. And then I express with all of my heart just how grateful I am, just how much I love her. And sometimes I'll cheat and I'll be like, okay, all of you get in on this. So it becomes like a goddess palooza, and I'm just like saying thank you to every single one. So if nothing else, I at least have this Friday night ritual where I connect with, as many goddesses as are willing to come to the party. It's just because they also get to decide, like, we're not coming. You need to do a separate one for me, and that's perfectly fine. So I'll often also use the incense stick, since I am doing so much clearing, to clear my crystals. And yeah, very simple. And sometimes I feel like the need to dance through it. So especially if there's like a new level or new frequency that they want me to inhabit, or it's been a particularly difficult week, then move your body. And I listen to flute music, or like, really calming nature sound, something like that, while I'm doing it. And it's beautiful. It doesn't take very long. But often after I do that, like after I'm done in about 20 odd minutes, then I'm like, no, I want to sit here. I want to meditate. I want to close my eyes. And it's really, it's a sweet little place. Fun.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I feel like that's, I want to try that. I feel like that's something that everyone should be trying. It just sounds, just to take that time. I think that's the other thing in general. Like, we're talking about that kind of the pushing energy. It's those moments when you can, like, all your senses get engaged and you slow down, and even just taking the time to make that moment, you're bringing in that energy, right? It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to give yourself permission to not do anything, because your brain will tell you're wasting time. You could be using this time to do work or taking care of someone else or whatever other responsibilities might be on your list. And the thing is, what I really love about the goddesses is that they increase your capacity. The presence of a goddess energy in your life means that you have increased capacity, whether you're a healer and you need an increased capacity to deal with energy, or you have like a regular job. I don't even know what that means anymore, but you're still dealing with people, you still have stuff to do. The capacity of how much you can handle stress wise, like remembering things, people you can handle, all of that increases when you have like a goddess on your side, because they tend to be like a, I may not be saying this correctly, but you know how like for some appliances you need a grounding wire, otherwise it's going to short circuit the house.
Yes. Yes.
That-
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the goddess provides. It provides you like the ability to have a greater capacity, so you don't burn out, so you don't like work yourself into I don't know, like a rehab facility. I don't even know what are the bad things that happen.
Yeah.
You might get sick, and this is not the
Yeah.
time to get sick. You have shit to do. So
I
take
love
this.
that. Yeah, like a grounding wire. Yeah, that I can see that so clearly, and that I can just everything you're saying, I can just feel it. Like it's every time you speak, there's like little like woo things happening, and it's just so magical. So, what is the best way? So, How do people find you? Where are you? And how do people connect with you for more goddess stuff?
Okay, so you can go to my Instagram, where I've been having a ton of fun with reels, and I'll be sharing more and more about goddessy shit. And I'm at Aakriti Kundu on Instagram, and we'll be putting links
Yeah,
and stuff that
as well.
can be
Yeah,
clickable. You can also go to akritikundu.com, which is my website.
awesome.
There's a quiz that you can take to find out which goddess you should work with, and a little like class about who and how and all of those good things. Plus, also, if you would like to get your own personalized goddess initiation session, there's information on the website about that. You can hit me up on my personal Facebook. I have a page, but who knows how to deal with those things? So just hit me up on my personal Facebook. It's fine. I like I said, it's community. It's
Yeah,
sweet.
you're calling in your tribe. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Your soul tribe. Oh,
Yeah.
this has been amazing. I feel like we could talk forever and ever and ever about goddesses. This is just, I'm so
We
grateful
can,
for you. Yes.
but we don't want to get don't want to keep everyone here. We probably will. You never know.
We might get a bit boring. But yeah, let's do more. Let's do more. This has been so lovely, and I'm so grateful. And yeah, find Aakriti in all of the places, and have a magical Friday night.
And if you wanted to go ahead and do that ritual, tag me and Sam on your stories when you do it, because it'll be like we'll just magnify the intensity and the energy of it. It'll be awesome.
I love that so much. Thank you. Bye.
Blessings.